The last mortgage payment felt anticlimactic as I clicked Submit on my banking app. No confetti, no fireworks, just a quiet ding from my phone confirming the transaction. 15 years of payments, and it ended with a whisper. My name is Eleanor, and I just finished paying off my parents' house at 35. The same house I grew up in, the one with the crooked mailbox my sister Juliana crashed into when learning to drive. Mom and Dad never made her pay for repairs. They never made Juliana pay for anything. I took a screenshot of the final payment confirmation and texted it to our family group chat. 3 gray dots appeared immediately. Mom typing, "Thank you, Eleanor. It's the least you could do, considering how much we sacrificed for your education." I stared at those words until my vision blurred. My education? The community college I attended while working 2 jobs. The degree I never finished because every spare dollar went to their mortgage. Dad chimed in next. "Good girl. Your mother and I raised you right." Juliana sent a string of clapping emojis. I set my phone face down on my tiny apartment's coffee table and looked around at the life I'd built, or rather, hadn't built. The secondhand furniture, the walls I wasn't allowed to paint, the empty ring finger that reminded me of every relationship I'd let slip away because family comes first. A week later, Mom called a family meeting. "Come to the house tonight at 7, she said. "It's important." I arrived to find Juliana's SUV already in the driveway, her 2 kids' car seats visible through the window. Inside, everyone sat around the dining room table, the same one where I'd signed the mortgage agreement all those years ago. "Eleanor," Mom began, her voice honey-sweet, "now that the house is paid off, your father and I have been discussing the future." Juliana reached for Mom's hand, both of them wearing matching smiles that didn't quite reach their eyes. "Juliana and Daniel are having some financial difficulties," Dad continued, his tone matter-of-fact. "With the kids growing, they need more space. We've decided they should move in here." The room tilted slightly. "Move in? Here?" "Yes," Mom nodded. "And since there isn't room for everyone, we'll need you to find your own place." I laughed. I actually laughed, thinking it was some bizarre joke. "I already have my own place. This is my house, too. I paid the mortgage." "No, sweetie." Mom's voice turned sharp. "You helped with payments on our house. We're very grateful, but this was always our house." Juliana leaned forward, her designer purse sliding across the table. "Elle, be reasonable. I have children. You don't. You've never even been close to marriage. It just makes sense. When do you need me out?" The words came from somewhere distant, somewhere cold. "Well," Dad cleared his throat, "Juliana's lease ends next month, so—" "A month?" My voice cracked. "You want me out in a month?" 3 weeks, actually," Juliana corrected. "We need time to renovate my old room for the kids." I looked at each of them. Mom's practiced concern, Dad's stern authority, Juliana's barely concealed triumph. 15 years of payments, 15 years of family first, 15 years of being the responsible one, the reliable one, the one who sacrificed everything. "I see." I stood up slowly, smoothing my skirt. "I'll start packing tomorrow." "Oh, Eleanor," Mom sighed with relief. "I knew you'd understand. You always do." I walked to the door, my heels clicking against the hardwood floors I'd paid to have installed 3 years ago. At the threshold, I turned back. "Just one thing," I said, my voice steady. "Did you plan this before or after I made the final payment?" The silence was deafening. Juliana's slight smirk told me everything I needed to know. "Eleanor," Dad warned, "don't make this difficult." I smiled. Really smiled. For the first time that evening. I wouldn't dream of it. Walking to my car, I pulled out my phone and opened my messages. I scrolled past the family group chat to a conversation with Hector, my lawyer friend from college. The message I'd drafted years ago was still there, waiting. "It's time. Execute Plan B." I hit send, started my car, and pulled away from the house that had consumed half my life. In my rearview mirror, I could see Juliana and Mom standing in the doorway, probably already planning which walls to tear down. They thought they were finally getting everything they wanted. They thought I would roll over and accept it, like always. They thought wrong. Let them celebrate tonight. Let them plan their renovations and pick out paint colors. Let them think they've won. They have no idea what's coming. "You're a genius, you know that?" Hector said, spreading the documents across his desk. Most people would have just trusted their family. I watched him sort through 15 years of carefully preserved paperwork. Most people have families worth trusting. The morning sun filtered through his office blinds, highlighting dust motes and casting striped shadows across the mortgage agreement I'd signed at 20. I remembered Mom's words that day. "Of course we'll help with payments, sweetie. We're family." They never contributed a single dollar. "Look at this." Hector pointed to a clause he'd helped me insert. "Joint ownership through an independent trust, with you as primary beneficiary." They signed this without even reading it carefully. Dad always said reading contracts was for people who didn't trust each other. Hector snorted. Well, he wasn't wrong. My phone buzzed. Juliana calling again? Third time today? I declined it. "They're going to fight this," I said. "Let them." Hector grinned. "I've got your back. Just like college." I remembered the day I met him in business law, both of us struggling pre-law students. He'd made it through. I dropped out to keep up with the mortgage payments. "Speaking of fighting," I said, "I need to get home and pack before they change the locks." "They can't legally." "I know, but they would." Back at the house, I found Juliana's car in the driveway again. I used my key quickly, slipping inside before she could intercept me at the door. Voices drifted down from upstairs. My bedroom. "It has to be here somewhere," Juliana was saying. "She keeps everything." I cleared my throat from the doorway. Juliana spun around, caught rifling through my desk drawers. Mom stood by my closet, looking embarrassed, but not apologetic. "Looking for something?" I asked. "The original mortgage papers," Mom said. "Your father needs them." "How convenient." I walked to my bookshelf and started packing novels into a box. "Did he need them before or after you decided to kick me out?" "Don't be dramatic," Juliana sighed. "We're not kicking you out. We're just reallocating space." "Reallocating," I laughed. "Is that what we're calling it?" Mom stepped forward. "You're making this harder than it needs to be. We assumed you'd be happy to help your sister. Like when I helped her pass 10th grade by taking the blame for her cheating, or when I helped her make rent last year, or the year before that." Juliana's face flushed. "That's different. I have children." "Get out of my room." "Excuse me?" I turned to face them fully. "Get out of my room now." They left, muttering about my attitude. I locked the door behind them and pulled out my phone to text Jasmine. "Need help moving tonight. Bringing the documents." Her reply was instant. "On it. Truck's ready." I worked efficiently, packing what mattered most first. Legal papers, photos, the small jewelry box that held Mom's grandmother's ring, the one she'd promised me on my 16th birthday, then given to Juliana on her wedding day. A knock at my door. "Eleanor?" Dad's voice. "We need to talk." "I'm packing, like you wanted." "Open the door." "No." Silence then. "This isn't like you, being difficult." I zipped another bag closed. Maybe you never knew what I was like. That evening, Jasmine helped me load the last box into her truck. We'd worked silently, efficiently, ignoring my family's attempts to supervise what I was taking. "That's the family silver," Mom had protested when I wrapped the set I'd bought 3 Christmases ago. "Receipts in the box," I'd replied, along with the credit card statement. Now, standing in my empty room, I took one last look around. The walls were bare where my photos had hung. The closet stood open, hangers empty. My desk drawers gaped open, cleared of every document I'd meticulously saved over the years. Juliana appeared in the doorway. I hope you're satisfied, making Mom cry like this. I turned to her, really looked at her. My baby sister, the golden child, the one who could do no wrong. You know what's funny? I actually am satisfied. For the first time in years. What's that supposed to mean? I walked past her, then paused. Check your mail tomorrow. You might find it interesting. Is that a threat? No, Yuli. I smiled, using her childhood nickname. It's a promise. Outside, Jasmine waited in her truck. Through the window, I could see my family gathered in the living room, probably already planning how to divide up my space. They had no idea I just cleared out the last piece of evidence they could use against me. Let them search for those mortgage papers. Let them call their lawyers. Let them realize, slowly and painfully, exactly what they'd done. The game was just beginning, and for once, I had all the pieces. The certified letters went out on Monday morning. By Wednesday, my phone was exploding with notifications. I silenced it and focused on my computer screen at work, where Hector's email sat open. Ownership transfer initiated. They have 30 days to vacate unless all parties sign the joint occupancy agreement. Given your explicit denial, that's not happening. Buckle up. A shadow fell across my desk. I looked up to find my father standing there, his face red, a crumpled letter in his fist. My coworkers quickly became very interested in their keyboards. We need to talk, he growled. I'm at work. Now, Eleanor. I stood up calmly, smoothing my skirt. Fine. Outside. In the parking lot, Dad thrust the letter at me. What is this garbage? Legal documentation of house ownership. I kept my voice level. As you can see, I owned 51% through the trust. This is ridiculous. We're your parents. Yes, you are. And you taught me well about family loyalty. I smiled thinly. About sacrifice. About doing what's necessary. His face darkened. You conniving little... Careful, Dad. We're in public. A few of my coworkers were watching through the windows. Dad noticed too and lowered his voice. Your sister can't afford another place right now. They're counting on moving in. That sounds like a personal finance problem. Daniel's credit is shot after that business venture failed. They need this. Should have thought about that before trying to throw me out of my own house. Dad stepped closer, using his height to loom over me like he did when I was young. We raised you better than this. No, I said quietly. You raised me exactly like this. To take what I want. To look out for myself. To understand that family means nothing when there's something to gain. My phone buzzed. A text from Jasmine. Police report filed. Jay claims theft of family heirlooms. I laughed out loud, startling Dad. Right on schedule. What? Tell Juliana nice try with the police report. I have receipts for everything I took. Original receipts. In my name. Dad's face went from red to white. She wouldn't. She did. Just like she always does. I checked my watch. Now, I need to get back to work. My lawyer will be in touch about the vacation timeline. Eleanor, wait. Oh, and Dad? I turned back. You might want to check the home equity loan papers you took out last year. The ones you forged my signature on. He froze. Yeah, I know about those too. Funny thing about being the responsible one, people show you all sorts of interesting documents over the years. Back inside, I had 3 voicemails from Mom and a text from Juliana. You're making a huge mistake. I forwarded it to Hector, adding, right on time, she's panicking. His response came quickly. Bank just called. They tried to take out another loan against the house, denied due to pending ownership transfer. I smiled, remembering all the times I'd sat quietly at family dinners, listening to them plan their futures with my money. Juliana's renovation ideas, Mom's cruise plans, Dad's retirement dreams. My desk phone rang. The front desk. Eleanor? Your sister's here? Send her up. Juliana stormed through the office, designer handbag swinging. You need to stop this right now. Stop what? Claiming what's legally mine? I have children. You keep saying that like it's a magic word that makes everything okay. She leaned over my desk, voice dropping to a hiss. I'll tell everyone what you did in college. About the money you stole. I pulled out my phone, clicked a few buttons, and turned it to show her the screen. Her eyes widened at the bank statement displayed there. You mean the money you stole using my ID? The money I covered for you so Mom and Dad wouldn't know? That money? She straightened up, face pale. You wouldn't. Try me. I've got 15 years of receipts, Julie. 15 years of covering your tracks, paying your debts, taking your blame. Want to see what happens if I stop? You're bluffing. I opened my drawer and pulled out a thick folder. Remember that check you wrote to your dealer in college? The one I caught you forging Dad's signature on? The original's in here. Still a crime, even years later. Juliana grabbed her bag, hands shaking. You've changed. No. I sat back, feeling lighter than I had in years. I just stopped pretending. She fled the office, nearly running. Through the window, I watched her climb into her expensive SUV, the one I knew she couldn't afford. My phone buzzed again. A text from Jasmine. Phase 2, ready when you are. I thought about the files waiting on my laptop. The records, the evidence, everything I'd collected while playing the perfect daughter. Do it, I texted back. Time to show them exactly who they'd created. Your sister has 7 maxed out credit cards, Jasmine said, spreading documents across my kitchen table. All opened in the last 3 years. She's been lying to Daniel about their finances. I sipped my coffee, examining the credit reports. And the job she claims to have? Doesn't exist. The company she lists on her resume shut down 2 years ago. She's been faking pay stubs to show Daniel. The doorbell rang. Jasmine quickly gathered the papers while I checked the security camera feed on my phone. Mom, I sighed. Right on schedule. I opened the door to find her standing there in her Sunday best, clutching her designer purse like a shield. We need to talk, she said. Come in. I led her to the kitchen, where Jasmine sat innocently working on her laptop. Mom, this is my friend Jasmine. She's helping me organize some paperwork. Mom's eyes narrowed at the scattered documents. I need to speak with you privately. Anything you say to me, you can say in front of her. Mom perched on the edge of a chair, her perfect posture a reminder of all the times she'd corrected mine. Eleanor, imagine what you're doing to this family. I am imagining it. Vividly. Your sister is devastated. The children are not my responsibility. How can you be so selfish? Mom's voice cracked. After everything we've done for you, I laughed. Everything you've done for me? Like what exactly? We raised you. We put you through school. Community college, Mom, which I paid for myself while working 2 jobs and paying your mortgage. You were always so good at managing money, she said, switching tactics. So responsible. Not like Juliana. She needs guidance. She's 32, Mom. She needs consequences. Mom's face hardened. Remember when you were 15? When you took the blame for Juliana's cheating? That's who you are, Eleanor. A protector. A good sister. I felt Jasmine shift beside me, watching closely. Actually, I said, let's talk about that day. I pulled out my phone, scrolled through my files, and played an audio recording. Mom's voice, crystal clear, from 15 years ago. Take the blame, Eleanor. Juliana has a chance at a scholarship. You're just going to community college anyway. Be a good sister. Do this for the family. Mom's face went white. You recorded that? I recorded everything, Mom. Every manipulation, every guilt trip, every time you used me to protect her. I was trying to help. No, you were trying to control. And it worked, for 15 years. She stood up, smoothing her skirt with trembling hands. Your father will hear about this. Good. Tell him to check his email. There's quite an interesting thread about that forged loan application waiting for him. After she left, Jasmine whistled low. That was intense. It's about to get worse. I opened my laptop. Show me what you found about Juliana's document scheme. Jasmine pulled up several files. She's been setting you up for months. Created fake documents showing you embezzled money from your parents. She was planning to use them if they ever needed leverage. Perfect, I smiled. That's exactly what I was waiting for. What do you mean? Those documents. They're dated before I moved out. But the letterhead she used? I pointed to the screen. That company changed their logo 6 months ago. She used the new one on documents supposedly from 2 years ago. Jasmine's eyes widened. So if she tries to use them, she proves she committed fraud. I closed the laptop. Check your email. Hector just sent over the court filing for full financial control of the house. My phone buzzed. A text from Daniel, Juliana's husband. We need to talk. Alone. Looks like someone's finally checking the bank statements, Jasmine said, reading over my shoulder. I met Daniel at a coffee shop downtown. He looked tired, his usual polished appearance rumpled. How long have you known? He asked without preamble. About the credit cards? The fake job? All of it? He nodded. Years. I've been paying off her secret card since you got married, but I stopped last month. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have believed me over her? He stared into his untouched coffee. I found papers in her desk. She was planning to frame you for theft. I know. What else do you know? I pulled out a USB drive. Everything. Bank statements, credit reports, fake documents, recordings. The question is, what are you going to do about it? He took the drive, hands shaking slightly. I can't keep living like this. No, I agreed. You can't. My phone buzzed again. Hector. Court date set. 2 weeks. I showed Daniel the message. You have 2 weeks to decide. Are you going down with her, or are you ready to tell the truth? He stood up, pocketing the drive. I'll have my lawyer call yours. As he left, I texted Jasmine. Phase 3 beginning. Get ready. The pieces were falling perfectly into place. Now it was time to watch it all burn. The holiday dinner invitation arrived like a hand grenade in my inbox. Mom's message was deceptively sweet. Despite everything, we're still family. Join us for Christmas Eve dinner? Hector advised against it. Jasmine called it a trap. They were both right, which is exactly why I accepted. I arrived precisely on time, wearing the red dress Mom had always said was too bold for me. Through the window, I could see Juliana's SUV was missing from the driveway. Trouble in paradise, perhaps? Dad opened the door with forced cheerfulness. Eleanor! Come in! Come in! The house smelled like roasting turkey and desperation. Mom was stress cleaning the already spotless kitchen, and Daniel sat alone on the couch, looking uncomfortable. Where's Julie? I asked innocently. She's running late, Mom said tightly. Work emergency. I caught Daniel's slight flinch. He knew as well as I did that Juliana had no job to have emergencies at. We sat down to dinner, the empty chair between Daniel and Mom screaming louder than any conversation could. Dad carved the turkey with mechanical precision, his knuckles white around the knife handle. So, Mom tried. How's work, Eleanor? Productive. We just landed a major client. I smiled. They particularly appreciated my attention to detail with documentation. Dad's knife scraped against the plate. And Daniel, I continued, how's the new project going? He looked up, startled. It's complicated. Complicated can be good. Helps you see things clearly, doesn't it? Before he could respond, the front door slammed. Juliana stormed in, her designer dress wrinkled, her makeup slightly smeared. Sorry I'm late, she announced. Traffic was terrible. From where? I asked. The bank? Her head snapped toward me. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Just making conversation? Pass the potatoes? Mom jumped in. I made your favorite stuffing, Julie. And Eleanor, I used your cranberry recipe. Really? I took a bite. Tastes different. Did you change something? I improved it, Juliana said sharply. Like you improved those loan documents? The table went silent. Daniel studied his plate intently. I don't know what you're talking about, Juliana said, but her voice trembled. No? The court seems to think you do. Their forensics team was very interested in those papers you tried to file. Dad set down his knife? That's enough. Is it? Because I think we're just getting to the good part. Like how Juliana's been lying about her job for 2 years, or how she's maxed out 7 credit cards Daniel doesn't know about. Eleanor, Mom gasped. Or maybe we should discuss the home equity loan you and Dad took out using my forged signature. Daniel's head snapped up. What loan? Oh, you didn't know. I turned to him. They needed money to help Juliana cover her gambling debts. The ones she told you were business investments? Juliana stood up so fast her chair toppled backward. You vindictive bitch. Julie, language, Mom pleaded. No, let her speak, I said calmly. It's about time someone in this family told the truth. You want truth? Juliana was shaking. You're pathetic. You've spent your whole life trying to prove you're better than me, and now you're destroying everything because you're jealous. Jealous? I laughed. Of what? Your fake job? Your mountain of debt? Your crumbling marriage? Daniel pushed back from the table. I need some air. Daniel, wait. Juliana started after him, but he was already gone. Well? I stood up, dabbing my lips with a napkin. This has been lovely. Mom, dinner was delicious. Dad, good luck with that loan investigation. Julie, I smiled. The truth will set you free. You can't do this to us, Mom said, tears in her eyes. We're your family. No, you're not. You're just people who used me for 15 years and thought I wouldn't notice. I walked to the door, then turned back. Oh, and Julie? The bank called. They're freezing all accounts pending the fraud investigation. Merry Christmas. Outside, Daniel was sitting in his car, head in his hands. I knocked on his window. The USB drive I gave you, I said when he rolled it down. There's a name of a good divorce lawyer in there. Use it. Back in my own car, I watched the chaos unfold through the dining room window. Juliana was gesturing wildly, Mom was crying, and Dad looked like he'd aged 10 years in 10 minutes. My phone buzzed with a text from Jasmine. How'd it go? I typed back, better than expected. Start the final phase tomorrow. One last text came through, this time from Hector. Court documents are ready. Sure you want to go through with this? I looked back at the house, my house, and the family that had taken everything from me for years. Absolutely, I replied. Time to end this. The blog post went viral overnight. My family used me as their ATM for 15 years. Now they're learning what bankruptcy feels like. The story resonated, spreading across social media like wildfire. I'd changed the names, but anyone who knew us would recognize the truth. Jasmine monitored the fallout while I worked. Your sister's trying to do damage control on Facebook. It's not going well. My phone buzzed. Mom calling for the 7th time today. I declined it. Your parents' country club friends are commenting, Jasmine continued. Apparently, they've been borrowing money there too. A knock on my office door interrupted us. Daniel stood there, looking haunted. Can we talk? I gestured to the chair across from my desk. He sat, pulling out a thick folder. I found these in Juliana's desk. He spread out loan applications, all with my forged signature. She's been doing this for years. I know. He swallowed hard. She cleaned out our kids' college funds last month. That I hadn't known. I'm sorry. I filed for divorce this morning. He looked up, eyes red. She doesn't know yet. Before I could respond, commotion erupted in the hallway. Juliana burst in. Mascara streaked down her face. You! She pointed at Daniel. You're working with her now? Julie. Don't Julie me. I saw you at the lawyer's office. I stood up. This is my workplace. Take it outside. You've ruined everything, Juliana screamed. The blog post? Really? Now everyone knows. Knows what? I asked calmly. The truth. I had a plan. Everything was going to work out. Daniel laughed bitterly. Like the plan to gamble away our children's future? Juliana's face went white. You told him. He found out himself. Just like everyone else is finding out who you really are. Security arrived, summoned by my concerned co-workers. As they escorted Juliana out, she kept screaming about betrayal and family loyalty. Daniel stood to leave. I'm sorry. For everything. For not seeing it sooner. Take care of your kids, I told him. That's all that matters now. That evening, I came home to find Mom sitting on my doorstep, clutching her designer purse, the last vestige of her carefully curated image. Your father and I are separating, she announced as I unlocked my door. I waited. She twisted her wedding ring. He's been having an affair with his secretary for years. I know that too. She looked up sharply. What? Remember when you made me handle the family taxes? His receipts told interesting stories. Why didn't you tell me? I let out a laugh. Would you have believed me? Over him? I don't know what to do, she whispered. We're going to lose everything. That's not my problem anymore. Eleanor, please. I'm your mother. No. I met her eyes. You're someone who had a daughter, but treated her like an investment portfolio. My phone buzzed. Hector. Court ruled in your favor. House is yours. Full control. I showed Mom the message. You and Dad have 48 hours to remove your belongings. Where will we go? Maybe ask Juliana. She's so good at solving problems, remember? Mom stood, dignity crumbling. We really did love you, in our way. Your way wasn't good enough. After she left, I poured a glass of wine and opened my laptop. The blog post had over 100,000 shares now. The comments section was filled with similar stories. Children used as financial crutches, siblings playing favorites, parents manipulating with guilt. A new email popped up from an anonymous account. Security footage from last night. Juliana trying to break into the house, probably looking for more documents to forge. I forwarded it to Hector. My phone lit up with a text from Jasmine. Your dad just got fired. The affair went public. Another from Daniel. Juliana's been served. She's at her friend's house, hysterical. And finally, one from Hector. Ready to list the house for sale? I looked around my apartment. Small but mine, paid for with honest work. No guilt, no manipulation, no toxic family ties. Yes, I replied. It's time. The house had been their weapon for 15 years, used to control me, to drain me, to keep me tethered to their dysfunction. Now it would be their downfall. I opened my wine, raised my glass to the empty room, and smiled. Here's to karma, I whispered. She's a patient teacher. Tomorrow the real estate agent would put up the for sale sign. Tomorrow my family would face the consequences of their choices. But tonight? Tonight I would sleep peacefully, knowing I'd finally broken free. The for sale sign went up on a Tuesday. By Friday, we had 3 offers above asking price. I celebrated by hosting a housewarming party. Not for a new house, but for my newfound freedom. Jasmine helped me set up in the backyard, stringing lights between the trees where Juliana and I once had a treehouse. Your mom's Mercedes is parked down the street, she mentioned casually. Been there an hour. Let her watch, I said, arranging wine glasses on the patio table. Hector arrived first, carrying champagne and legal documents. Final sale contract, he announced. Just needs your signature. Other guests filtered in. Co-workers, friends, people who'd known me only as the reliable one, the responsible sister, The perfect daughter. Tonight, they'd meet the real me. "Speech!" someone called out after the champagne started flowing. I clinked my glass, gathering everyone's attention. "Thank you all for coming. This isn't just a party. It's a funeral. We're here to bury 15 years of manipulation, guilt, and family obligation." Laughter rippled through the crowd. "To new beginnings," I raised my glass. "And to karma." "You vindictive bitch." Juliana stumbled through the gate, clearly drunk, mascara smeared. Daniel's sister trailed behind her, trying to pull her back. "Julie, don't. This was supposed to be my house," Juliana screamed. "My children's home." The party went silent. I set down my glass. "Your children," I walked toward her. "The ones whose college fund you gambled away? I was going to pay it back. I had a system. Like the system you used to forge loan documents, or the system you used to fake your job." She lunged forward, but Jasmine stepped between us. "That's close enough." "Everyone's laughing at us," Juliana sobbed. "Dad lost his job. Mom's living in a motel. Daniel's leaving me, all because you couldn't just be a good sister." "No," I said quietly. "All because you couldn't be honest. Any of you." "I'm calling the police," she threatened, pulling out her phone. "Go ahead. I'm sure they'd love to add trespassing to your fraud charges." Movement caught my eye. Mom emerging from behind a tree, Dad beside her. They must have been waiting for their moment. "Eleanor," Mom stepped forward. "Please, we can fix this." "Fix what? Your reputation? Your marriage? Your golden child's criminal record?" "We're family," Dad tried. "Family?" I laughed. "Let's talk about family." I turned to my guests. "Did you know they made me skip college graduation to work extra shifts for their mortgage? Or that they gave away my inheritance to my sister because she needed it more? Or how about—" "Stop!" Juliana screamed. "Just stop!" She rushed at me, hands outstretched. I sidestepped, letting her momentum carry her straight into the patio table. Wine glasses shattered. Guests gasped. Security cameras caught everything. Another piece of evidence for the restraining order Hector was already drafting. "Get her out of here," I told Daniel's sister, "before I press charges." As they dragged Juliana away, she kept screaming, "You ruined my life." "No," I called after her. "I just stopped letting you ruin mine." Mom stepped forward one last time. "What do you want? Money? The house back? Name your price." "I want nothing from you. Not anymore." "Then why?" Dad demanded. "Why destroy everything?" "Because you taught me well." I smiled. "Family first, remember? Protect your interests. Take what you deserve." I pulled out my phone, showed them the security footage of Juliana's attack. "Leave now, or this goes public too. Your choice." They left, shoulders hunched, former country club royalty reduced to scandal fodder. After they were gone, I went upstairs to my old bedroom. In the closet, behind a loose panel, I found what I was looking for, a box of letters I'd written as a teenager, begging for love, for attention, for anything but conditional approval. I took them downstairs where my real family waited. Hector, Jasmine, friends who loved me for who I was, not what I could provide. "Want to do the honors?" Jasmine held out a lighter. One by one, I burned those letters in the fire pit. Each one ignited like 15 years of pain turning to ash. "Feel better?" Hector asked. "No," I admitted. "But I feel free." My phone buzzed. A text from the real estate agent. Highest bidder increased their offer. "Want to accept?" I looked around at the house that had been my prison, my burden, my chains. Tomorrow, it would belong to someone else. Tomorrow, I would walk away with enough money to finally finish my degree. "Yes," I typed back. "It's time to let go." The party continued around me, but I kept watching those letters burn, each flame a reminder that sometimes the best revenge isn't destruction, it's liberation. The house sold for well above asking price. I signed the final papers in Hector's office, my hands steady as I transferred ownership to a young family with 3 kids and genuine smiles. "Congratulations," Hector said, sliding me a check. "You're officially free." Not quite. I pulled out an envelope. "One last thing." We drove to the local community college together. Inside, I handed the envelope to the dean, a donation establishing a scholarship fund for students supporting their families through school. "The Eleanor Wade Scholarship for Family Independence," the dean read. "This is extremely generous. It's for students who need to learn that helping families shouldn't mean losing yourself." Back in my car, my phone lit up with a news alert. Local businesswoman charged with multiple counts of fraud. Juliana's mugshot stared back at me. I drove to my new apartment across town, where Jasmine waited with takeout and wine. "Your mom called the office again," she said, pouring glasses. "What did she want this time?" "To tell you your dad's moving to Florida with his secretary, and that she's selling her jewelry to make rent." I took a long sip. Not my problem anymore. "Speaking of problems," Jasmine pulled out her laptop. "Daniel wanted you to see this." She showed me an email. Juliana had tried to access the kids' empty college accounts again, even after the divorce filing. "Send it to his lawyer," I said. "He'll need it for custody hearings." My doorbell rang. A courier handed me a thick envelope. Photos from the house cleanout. I spread them across my coffee table. Mom's perfect Christmas dinners, Dad's business awards, Juliana's wedding. A carefully curated facade of family perfection. "What are you going to do with them?" Jasmine asked. I gathered them up and dropped them in my shredder, making room for new memories. My phone buzzed. A text from Daniel. "The kids asked about you. They miss their aunt." "Tell them I miss them too," I replied. "When things settle down, we'll talk." "You're their only family now," he wrote back. "The only honest one, anyway." Jasmine pointed to my laptop, where my graduate school application sat open. "Ready to hit submit?" I looked around my new space, smaller than the house, but filled with peace instead of obligation. On my wall hung a single photo. Me at 18, before the mortgage, before the manipulation, smiling with genuine hope. "Actually," I said, "I want to change my personal statement." I opened the document and began typing. This isn't a story about revenge. It's about reclaiming yourself when family becomes quicksand. It's about learning that love shouldn't cost you your future. The words flowed easily now. No more guilt, no more justification, just truth. My phone lit up again. A message from Mom. "I understand now. Too late, but I understand. I'm sorry we broke you." "You didn't break me," I typed back. "You just taught me how to rebuild myself." I blocked her number before she could respond. Jasmine raised her glass. "To rebuilding. To rebuilding," I echoed. Later that night, alone in my new bedroom, I opened my jewelry box, the one thing I'd kept from my old life. Inside lay Mom's grandmother's ring, the one promised to me but given to Juliana. I'd taken it back during the move, not for revenge, but for remembrance, a reminder that promises should mean something. Tomorrow, I'd sell it and add the money to the scholarship fund. Let it help someone else break free. My laptop chimed. Acceptance letter from graduate school. Full scholarship. My future. Unburdened by family debt. I opened my window, letting in the night air. Somewhere across town, Mom was sorting through her designer clothes for consignment. Dad was packing for Florida. Juliana was facing charges. But here, in this space, I was planting new roots. Not in toxic soil, but in ground I'd cleared myself. I picked up my phone one last time, opened my notes, and wrote, "Dear future self, today I learned that family isn't about sacrifice. It's about growth. It's not about paying debts. It's about investing in yourself. I am no longer anybody's investment. I belong to myself, And that's enough. I hit save, closed my laptop, and breathed in the silence. No guilt, no manipulation, no toxic ties, just freedom. And in that freedom, I finally found what I'd been looking for all along: peace. The kind of peace that comes not from revenge, but from reclaiming your own story. The kind that feels like coming home to yourself,